Wanted to make a quick follow-up video to a video I did last night about the Aurora, Colorado shooting. In the comments of that video, there were a couple of topics brought up that I want to discuss right here, that I want to address personally. Now, my reply feature is not working on YouTube for me right now, so it's hard for me to reply in the comments, so I thought I'd make this video. The two things I want to address are, the first one is this whole notion that someone brought up in there that armed citizens make the problem worse. This was a person pretending to be a law enforcement officer. I don't believe he is one for a second. This person was stating, well, oh, arming people just compounds the problem. It makes my job harder. Any law enforcement officer that would put forth the idea that people being self-reliant and able to defend themselves is somehow a bad thing is not a law enforcement officer. And if they are a law enforcement officer, they are a bad one. They should not be one. They've allowed their badge to corrupt their mind where they think they're somehow superior to everyone else. I've been through the police academy. In that 5 freaking months you take the police academy, you don't learn as much as you do in 1 year of a basic self-defense course. As far as physical fighting is concerned, you don't learn as much about how to handle a weapon as you do just taking a self-defense class and going to the range 1 day a week. So that elitist attitude that policemen are somehow far superior than ordinary citizens or somehow capable of things ordinary citizens are when it comes to defending themselves is ridiculous, and it has no place in law enforcement. Any good cop will tell you the best way to defend yourself is to be capable and to be self-reliant. Most cops will acknowledge that our job, their job, is mostly cleanup. They are to enforce the law. They are not your personal protection squad. They are not your personal bodyguard. They are there to catch people who break the law. And unfortunately, that almost always involves someone breaking the law first. It's great when presidents can prevent a crime, but cops can't be everywhere at all times. So it's up to you to defend yourself. Someone else isn't going to be able to do it for you. A cop isn't going to come running every time someone pushes you down or pulls a knife or even pulls a gun. It's not going to happen. The police were 2 blocks away from this theater. How many people died before the police could get there? Police do not protect you. They defend the law. They enforce the law. They do not protect you. You have to protect you. So any cop that tells you different, like I said, is a bad cop. And I do not have any tolerance for that whatsoever. So that was the first thing I wanted to address. The second thing I wanted to address is one person brought up the idea of when I stated that if one person could have been able to fight back, it might have changed the situation. If this guy had run in, thrown his flash grenade, and started shooting, and one person had fired back, this guy was obviously not someone who wanted to die, or he'd have just walked in with a bomb and blew the place up. He tried to get away. Police caught him because they got there faster than he expected. If one person had fired back, he might have turned his ass around and ran right back out the exit. It could have changed the situation drastically. Well, one person came on and used the argument, well, but what if someone tried to fight back, and during that fight back, they accidentally shot someone, an innocent bystander? How retarded is that logic? How can you stand and justify an action by saying a worst case scenario of you might accidentally hurt somebody else by fighting back, when the person you're fighting back against is definitely hurting people? He was killing people. Taking a risk to stop him is not a risk at all. It's what needed to be done. Now, the people that were in the theater, they didn't have the means to do that. I wish they did, but they didn't. That's not labeling them cowards. That's labeling them people that were unprepared for what happened. And unfortunately in this society, that's the way people are trained to be now, to be unprepared for things that happen. They're trained to be good sheep, run away, and then let someone else come in and take care of it later. So using the argument of worst case scenario, something bad could have happened when something is definitely bad happening right now. That's like me seeing a kid in the street about to be ran over by a car and saying, yeah, but if I run out there, I might accidentally break the kid's neck when I pick him up. Well, he's definitely going to be hit by the car if I don't act. So how is it not worth taking a risk to run out and grab the kid? So that logic just escapes me. What that logic is, when someone is doing stuff like that, when they say, well, I would have acted, but that's just validating cowardice, and I do not like that one bit. It's one thing if you don't want to be involved, or you don't think you're capably involved, but don't use your own, how would I say it, don't use your own misgivings about your own ability to act to validate the reason why you think other people shouldn't act also. So those were 2 things I just wanted to address and get off my chest really quickly. As you can see, this is not my usual, let's have fun, let's poke, the Glocktards with a stick, or let's make funny little comments. There's none of these in this video. I'm dead serious. These 2 topics that were brought up in the discussion really bothered me, and I wanted to make this video. Oh, P.S. One thing I wanted to add, all these people that are using hypothetical situations of people having guns or people being able to defend themselves as being a bad thing, wake up, stop being so naive, and deal with reality. Every day in the real world, people defend themselves successfully. They stop crime. They foil murders. They foil robberies. They do all of these things every day. That's a statistical reality. In fact, the number of times people successfully defend themselves every day far outnumbers the times that things like this happen, some things like this mass shooting. So to try and pretend that somehow people being able to defend themselves is a bad thing is not dealing with reality. Yeah, I would love it to live in a world where if we took away all guns and we took away people's desire to defend themselves or need to defend themselves, we'd live in a utopia. If I thought me turning in all my guns tomorrow would create that utopia, I would do it. But the reality of the situation is that would not do it. And the reality of the situation is that people being able to defend themselves is a positive thing, and it's proven daily.